All right, I'm making this recording for a friend of mine who's working on his pterygoid skills. I have pretty much this case planned. The surgery we're doing tomorrow. I may make some tweaks in the plan. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and move this implant down a little bit, just looking at it. But all in all, I've got everything planned here. I just had deleted the pterygoid implants because I wanted to show that here. So I'm going to scroll up here until I can see the pterygoids, and then I'm going to go ahead and redraw the panoramic curve, just making sure I'm going straight through the pyramidal process. And this should give us a good view of the maxilla. All right, I believe this case is going to be fairly straightforward. It's not the most difficult pterygoid case for sure. So what I'm going to do is scroll over to this area. I'm going to visualize. Right now I'm looking at this screen. As I scroll through, I can see the hamulus right here coming forward. All right, so I believe I'm going to, well, a lot of times what I do is I'll just, if it's going to be the same size as another implant, I will right click, hit copy, and then I will place the implant, right click, flip, and I'll tilt the apex back and get it. Now, one thing I've learned is I like for sometimes the platform will end up a little, when I first learned, the approach was to get out more to the buckle, but I found I don't really love the screw channels out there, so I try my best to have the platform to be in the middle of the ridge. So now I'm gonna, I'm gonna grab the apex here, bring that over. And I'm just gonna lean it back just a little bit more to get a little bit more into the pterygoid. So here, and then as we plan the left side, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I did that. But basically, I'm looking at where's the most dense bone. In this case, it's going to be pretty much going through the middle of the pterygoid there. So, all right, okay. So now looking at the left side, I believe I can see the hamulus right here. So my implant, I believe, is going to be coming right through here. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag up and down, and now I'm looking over at the left view. And you can see we've got some really dense bone right in here, 900 Hounsfield units, just really solid. So I think I'd like for my target to be right through this bone here. So again, I'm going to look. I'm probably going to reduce this some. Well, I know I am. I'm going to reduce this tuberosity. So I want my platform to be about right here, angling back. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this one. This is a 3.7 by 16. I'm going to use a 4.016 most likely tomorrow. But I'm going to, I'm going to flip this over and then lean it back. I think that's a song, right? Lean back, lean back. I'm not much of a singer. All right, so here we go. So now I'm going to scroll over and take a look. Okay, so here, just going to bring this over. And it looks like that implant is pretty much totally in bone. So now I'm going to go up and down here. Yeah, and I really like that. So you can do this next part here in implant view, or you can go to Explorer view. So we're going to go here to reset orientation, and okay, so now I'm looking at the bottom left screen. Really, I'll just go ahead and make that the full size. So as we scroll down in the axial view here, so I'm going to scroll all the way down until I just see the tip of the hamulus. We'll do the left side first. So I'll tell you what, we're going to drag it over here. We're going to line things up here in the sagittal view. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is scroll down, and you can see I'm going to put the tip of the hamulus right on where these two cross. And you can see we're going up, up, up with the hamulus. And just looking at this view, just looking at it closer, I feel like I could actually swing this implant a little to the apex, a little to the buccal. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. This is on the left side. Do that, go back to Explorer view. Yeah, I really like that. I mean, it could even have a little bit more of an angle, but you know, we're pretty much there. I mean, because you know, these don't end up being as, you know, as precise. You know, it's not like this is exactly where they're going to be. So I just like to have a really good idea of what the target is. So here, it's interesting though, the more you do it, the closer your actual placement looks to the you know, to the plan on the CT. All right, so here we're going to make this larger again. Okay, we're going to swing over here. Okay, so we got a good sagittal view there. Okay, so we're going to do the same exercise. You know, I'm going to be palpating this hamulus in surgery. So there's the hamulus right on the red line. All right, we'll put it right on the target. So now, as it comes up, you see the apex of the implant is here. So you can see that's, you could actually measure it. It's actually about 2.5 millimeters to the medial, and then about 3 millimeters in front of it. And then, you know, it's about 5 millimeters if you measure diagonally. So, all right, so that gives me a good idea. Oh, I gotta click off a measurement. Let's see, I'm just gonna delete these measurements. Oh, let's see, I'm gonna just click that box. Okay, oh, did it again. Delete. Okay. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the left side. I just don't recall if I did this or I verbalized it since I moved that implant. Okay. All right, so there's the hamulus. I'm going to put it right on the target. And I don't do it exactly like this every time as far as the plan. I mean, I place them this way, but I've gotten to the point where I don't necessarily come into this view and do exactly what I'm saying, but I feel like this is the best way to, you know, to express it in this medium. So you can see here, again, we're going to be a little bit medial. I don't always measure this, but it's about 2.5 millimeters medial to the hamulus. So I can look at that, and then we can look at the sagittal view here. Oh man, I always forget to turn off that measuring tool. Okay. So you can see here, I'm watching the sagittal view as I move this coronal view. So I can see where my starting point is, and that's relative to the tuberosity, or to the, oh man, I'm losing my word right there. Where this drops off, you know, I can, once I've reduced it, it's going to be about, let's see, we'll measure again, and then we'll forget to turn it off. So, you know, 4 or 5 millimeters medial. And then when I go in with the pilot drill, I'm going to be able to feel whether I'm into the sinus here. But basically, I palpate the hamulus, and I just feel all my landmarks, and then I visualize all that in my mind, and then from there I'm able to go in and start my pilot drill. Now I do first go in with my osteotome, and just to get my trajectory, I think you've seen a video on that one, but and then I just follow that same path with the pilot drill. But it's all based on landmarks, spatially knowing where you are, and then finding that quality bone. And then this is, the more you focus on the anatomy. Another aspect is dissecting, just reflecting the flap, feeling the medial and lateral pterygoid with your instruments. So if you can see both wings of the pterygoid, like at least feel them, feel the hamulus, look at the tuberosity, and then the hamular notch, and just basically that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 points of reference. So with those points of reference, you should be able to select your starting point and imagine the trajectory. So basically, I'm going to be coming a little forward to the hamular notch, taking my osteotome, going superior to the hamulus, but at about a few degrees medial to it, to engage the cortical bone of the pterygoid that I've observed here, and is certainly. Just look at that. That's just right there. It's 1,000, almost 1,100 Hounsfield units. So that's what we're looking for. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to you, and best of luck in your pterygoid journey.